Ah, it is springtime. And one of the places I love to go to during this time of the year is Broadway at the Beach in lovely Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, where if I so chose to, I could hop in a boat like the one you're seeing here and just get flung around for a while and hope that I don't lose my lunch. I could also go on a helicopter ride. I think I will pass on that as well. Across the way here, you see some paddle boats. Here you see the side view of the aquarium, and there are some stores coming up here, including a store called Retroactive, which actually sells pop figures. And they had some Frozen pops. What's retro about Frozen? I have no idea. Ooh, miniature golf here as well, where you can live out your Tiger Woods fantasies, hopefully without the infidelity. Across the way here there is Wonderworks. Very trippy building, looks like it's upside down. And of course there are carnival rides, which run pretty much all year round. And just imagine standing here, folks, and just listening to the joyful cries of children as they are flung about like wild animals. In just a moment here, if you look to the left, you'll see another ride starting up. Oh, here it goes, here it goes. Great ride to terrorize children even more. But I do enjoy myself when I go out to Broadway at the Beach, which once again is in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and I hope that you have a great place like this to visit as well. And you never know who you might run into when you go out to a place like this. You might even be lucky enough, if you're like me, to run into a cannibalistic serial killer.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
I did a video recently to promote a store called Hollywood Heroes and Villains down at Broadway at the Beach in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And by the way, I do not get paid to do those promotional videos. I like to just promote local businesses. And that store, it may be a chain, but if it is, it's not like a major chain as far as I know. But there may be some more of those stores in other places. But like I said, I don't think they are a major chain. So I thought it was a pretty cool store and I want to do a video for them. But anyway, somebody on Facebook, I saw that he just happened to post that he was looking for this particular figure, the Hannibal Lecter pop figure. And I knew that I had seen this figure before. I couldn't remember exactly where, if it was at that store or if it was at another place. I did remember eventually that it was at Books A Million, but when I went back to Books A Million, it wasn't there anymore. And let me go in and say this. I know I'm sidetracking again, but don't take commons for granted. If there are common pops that you keep seeing over and over and you think, oh, I'll just get it later on, you might not want to have that attitude, because you never know when a figure is suddenly going to gain popularity, fly off the shelves, or get vaulted, or, just whatever may happen. So don't take the commons for granted. But anyway, I was eventually able to find this figure for this member of a Facebook group, and it was at the Hollywood Heroes and Villains where I ended up getting it from. But I thought it was such a cool looking figure that I ended up getting one for myself as well. Can you see here? Just the box art looks great, and I know that's pretty much taken directly from the movie art, but it still looks pretty great on the box. And of course the box is empty right now because I already have him removed. Let's take a quick look at him here. I really like the mask on here. I always like when pop figures have something else going on in their face instead of just a plain face. It's so easy for the human characters to just end up looking kind of boring, but this mask is really cool. He has a straight jacket on here, the straps do have a little bit of flexibility on them. So it really does seem, it gives the illusion that he really is tied down to this hand truck. Of course, the wheels don't spin. That's no surprise there. But still, overall, this is a pretty cool pop, very true to the movie. Even like the buckle, the look of the buckle there on the back. Okay, so I'm really happy with this pop, and now that I have this Hannibal Lecter pop, and of course that figure stands very easily since he is on that hand truck. But now that I have this figure, and then I also have what I recently got, the Freddy Krueger figure, I think I will start maybe focusing some more on getting some horror related pops, not sci-fi horror. I don't really include Predator and Alien, which I had the clear green splatter Predator figure. I don't really count that one though as horror. So I'm trying to decide which horror figures I should get, and maybe you all can help me out with this. Obviously, I still want a variant of Freddy Krueger. I think there's only one variant, and if you follow my channel, you already know what it is that I'm really hoping I get my hands on one day. But I also want to get a Jason Voorhees figure. If I can, I would prefer to get a variant. And maybe some of you that are in the know, let me know what variants of Jason Voorhees are out there and which one I should probably try to go for. Also, I'm not a big fan of Michael Myers. I'm kind of iffy on him. The Leatherface one, I don't know if there's a variant or not, but even if there's not, I think that just the regular Leatherface looks pretty cool. And it's almost kind of odd to me that the regular Leatherface is actually kind of cute. I mean, maybe that's just me, but I think the figure actually looks kind of cute. So I think I will pick that one up. Pinhead's another one I'm kind of iffy on. I was never a big Hellraiser fan, although I did like Hellraiser Part 3. That's the only one I really remember very well. And also, I think I would like to get Chucky from Child's Play. I think it's actually Child's Play 2, the one that they have available. And you all let me know also, is there a Bride of Chucky variant? And if there's not, really, Funko? I mean, it just seems like there should be if there isn't one, but I don't know. So you all help me out with that. One thing I'm not so crazy about with these boxes, I do like the movie artwork, but at the same time, I do kind of wish they showed what other horror figures are available. Instead, I mean, this one here, it just says collect the entire line of Pop Movies super stylized vinyl figures, but I would rather it actually show what other horror or slasher type figures there are. But again, you all help me out with that. Just give me some ideas of what horror figures I should probably go for, especially variants. I'm very much into variants. Maybe not necessarily exclusive. They don't have to be exclusive to stores, but just, let me know, what should I look for? And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Pop of the Week. This week, I managed to pick up the glow-in-the-dark Swamp Thing figure. Very cool pop, nice glow to it, but unfortunately, not the Pop of the Week. Also, I searched high and low and I finally found the Unmasked Black Panther Walgreens exclusive. Again, very cool pop figure, but unfortunately, not the Pop of the Week. Yes, I know, ladies and gentlemen, I know it surprises me too. Hey. Sorry about that. It surprises me too, but unfortunately I had to knock him down a little bit because you see here that sticker just doesn't quite stick very well, and yeah, he loses some credit for that. So, the Pop of the Week is the one, the only
It's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man.
I made a little bit of space here because I'm about to put some figures up on the stand, and I am doing this for a reason, of course. So, again, I need to sit up here. The glow-in-the-dark Swamp Thing figure. I'm also going to sit up here. This basically old school Iron Man figure, the number 4 figure. And I think this might have been the first one that Funko made. I'm not 100% sure. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But definitely that old school looking Iron Man there. Next one here. And I know these seem random, but trust me, there's a purpose to it. I'll get to it in just a second. White Goodman from Dodgeball, one of my favorite comedy movies. Then I have here black and white suit Punisher, and he is in a protective case there. And then Harley Quinn, the glow in the dark, with her little pop gun there. Now, one I won't sit up here because I don't quite have the space for it is also my Pop of the Week. The Stay Puft Marshmallow Man with the toasted burns there going on. Okay. Now, what these figures have in common is that I got all of these at comic book shops. Okay, let me stress that again. I got all of these figures here at comic book shops, including this black and white suit Punisher, which I never thought I was going to get my hands on because basically I haven't been collecting very long. So really this figure was out of stores, and flippers had definitely raised the prices up by the time I started looking for it. So again, I found this in a comic shop, and I'm not going to say that it was retail price. It was raised up a little bit, but still not nearly as bad as flipper prices. As a matter of fact, and I mentioned this in the video when I first got this figure, I actually only paid, I think, $4 out of pocket for him because I was able to trade in some old comics. So I just really want to stress this to all of you. There's nothing wrong with the big chain stores. I mean, there are some issues there, but just in general, there's nothing wrong with getting your pops from those stores. But please don't overlook the small businesses. Don't forget about them, especially the comic book shops. And for the longest time, I really didn't know what this sticker here meant. This sticker, PX Previews Exclusive. But basically, this means that comic book stores, they can order these figures for you. If they don't already have them in store, if you run into a comic book shop and the owner is really nice, they will actually order figures for you. And these figures are pretty much exclusive to comic book shops. I know FYE does have some of them, but here's one problem with the big chain stores is with a store like FYE, they have so many figures crowded in together that whenever I have seen the PX Previews exclusive figures in FYE, they're usually pretty beat up. I mean, the boxes just look like they've been kicked around. And that's part of the problem with just having so many figures together. Whereas in a comic book shop, at least the shops that I've been to, and especially the ones I've highlighted on my channel, they're very well organized. The boxes are usually very well taken care of. Okay, so it is actually worth it to maybe go a little bit out of your way to check out those comic book shops. And you never know, you might find some figures that you've been looking for that you've just had trouble finding. Like I said, that was the case with this black and white suit Punisher for me. Also, when I was at this same shop, you think you can see her back there in the corner, the pink and white Harley Quinn. I already had her, but I saw her there as well. I think, in fact, the guy had, I want to say he had two of them. Okay, maybe I'm wrong on that, but I really think that he had two of them available. And this was after they were just completely out at Hot Topics, as far as I know. So again, I'm just putting this out there. Don't forget about small businesses. Do your local web searches. Try to see what other shops are around and really, get out there and support these guys. And I know some of you make videos as well. You can do the same thing that I'm doing. I don't ask of anything from these shops. All I ask is it okay for me to go in and film? And of course, they want your business. They want promotion, and it's free promotion for them. So more than likely, they're going to say, yes, cool, fine, go ahead. So that's why I have those videos. And in fact, the one that I just did was for Apocalypse Comics, which just a quick story here. I don't want to ramble too much, but just a quick story here. I went to Apocalypse Comics over in Columbia, South Carolina. And then I was down at the beach. I was doing my searches, and I did start off with the chain stores for the most part. But then I decided to do a search to see what comic shops were around, and I saw another Apocalypse Comics. And I was kind of curious about that, so I went on over there. And it just so happens that the new owner was in the store at the time, and I overheard him say to somebody else that he actually had two locations. So it turns out that those two stores, they actually are owned by the same person. So I told him about that. I thought it was pretty cool that I had actually been to both locations, not even planned. But I thought that was pretty cool, and he definitely appreciated the support, just the fact that I went and checked out the other store and that I was at that store. So, like I said, these owners, I think they are appreciative of the business. They're appreciative of when you spread the word. So help them out. Don't forget about the little guy. It's not all about Walmart and FYE and Hot Topic. We know that they have exclusives, but like I said, even sometimes those exclusives land in other places. Okay, so just don't forget about the little guy. This particular figure really brings together two of the points that I tried to make this evening. Now, I know a lot of you may look at it like, oh, this figure is nothing special. That's a common. But again, like I've been saying, don't take comments for granted, because I sort of had that attitude because I kept seeing this figure again and again, and I know I really wanted it. I think it's a great looking figure. I like the details with the red against the colors here, the reverse flash symbol, the way that the yellow and black fade together. It's a really good representation of a great character from a great show. So like I said, I took it for granted, and then before I knew it, all of a sudden, I wasn't seeing this figure anywhere. And I was like, I really messed up there, and I didn't think I was going to see it again. I thought I was going to have to order it online, which we know is pretty much a gamble when you order online. But luckily, I went to a comic shop. In fact, I believe it was Power Comics in Conway. And again, this is Conway, South Carolina, and they happened to have it there. So I picked it up. So I was very relieved about that and glad that I had this figure now to go along with. I do have my Flash back there, if you can see him, and my Captain Cold as well. So again, don't take comments for granted, and also don't take your local comic book shops for granted, and show those shops your support. I mean, even just a visit. If you don't find anything you're too crazy about, you can still help to spread the word, and maybe you'll find something that other people are interested in that you may not be interested in. In fact, I know in my area there is a Facebook group for the basically pop collectors around the Myrtle Beach area that help each other out, and we let each other know what's going on at these different shops and different businesses. And that's just that great community feel, which you all know by now I'm a big fan of. But let me not stray off topic. I'll just say it again. Look out and see what is in your area. Check it out, spread the word, help out those small businesses. I know they will really appreciate it.